Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome back to Out of the Abyss. Here with you, as per usual, Lot, Pip, and Jake.
Hello.
Hello.
Fellas, that was a fucking ride last week, huh?
Yeah, dude, I'm very mad you decided to split this one into two parts, dude. I was getting super into it, and you just fucking took it away from me.
Yeah, the cliffhanger and then the delay,
Yeah.
I almost forgot about it, and I was just going back over it. And the butterized dog.
Yeah.
I'm with all the viewers and saying that's fucked up, dude.
Do we got viewers saying things? Are we getting feedback?
No, but like anyone listening to that would be like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah,
I know, because I was also like that, and I'm a host.
Yeah. Yep.
Hey, you can go after the dogs. Leave the dogs alone.
Leave the dogs alone, dude.
Do you think they got the sphere or something got them first? I want to think that the dogs at least achieved biting that weird sphere full of liquids.
I feel like the sphere was like bait, like a droid.
Oh,
Like, that's the vibe that I get.
that's a good point. Would you listen, gentlemen? If you saw a baseball-sized glass sphere floating, and it was full of two separate liquids sloshing around, and it was glowing, would you follow it?
No.
So I'd be intrigued for sure, but I mean that's fucked up, dude. Nothing good comes from that.
I will freely admit that I come from like the South U.S. school of thought, where like if I saw something like that and I had a gun, I would shoot it. Like I wouldn't ask questions. I'd just be like, "What the fuck is that?" and just open fire.
I would be very afraid, but I feel like I'm too curious to not follow it.
I'd be curious, but I'd wait for someone smarter and braver than me to figure it out, and I'd just read about it.
Dumber and braver, perhaps.
Yeah, well, no. Those two things are often confused, dude.
Yeah, that's fair. I think I would follow it. I think I would try and tail it at a more reasonable distance.
So, what do you think?
Yeah, but like you think this fucking floating orb thing and whoever's controlling it's gonna not be like, look at this idiot following it like a moderate distance?
I mean, I'm not following it at like biting range. Social distance.
But like,
I'm gonna social distance from the paranormal orb.
Yeah, but I'm fairly confident that whether you were like right up against it or like fairly far away, it would have the exact same effect. You know, you're not gonna hide behind a tree from the fucking aliens, dude.
Yeah, I mean, they did just beam from, like, a cylinder above, so, I mean, I guess they'd lure me somewhere. They can just beam me.
Do you think that pip butter tastes like kombucha?
Listen, man, I've had one thing of kombucha.
That's how it starts.
That's how it always begins.
Yeah, you're gonna see me. I've got dreads now.
Yeah, dude.
He's becoming the lead singer of Rage Against the Machine. We gotta end this.
I drank some kombucha and steel
very
drums have
different
just
musical
manifested.
directions on that one. It's just...
So whatever I think white guy with dreads, my first thought is Rage Against the Machine.
Oh, I was thinking like maximum white guy hippie.
Oh.
I gotta throw in some steel drum music now. Hold on. Pause the podcast. Everyone relax.
Just burn a fat doink. Throw on some Bob Marley
just
and
get
the
it rolling.
Rollers.
Just out in Amish, smoking fat doinks.
Roll a giant...
You hear with the steel drums?
Rick, this is you. Or sorry.
I'll be real, steel drums are actually very chill.
Yeah. Yeah, this guy's actually super talented, though. Holy shit. Anyway, let's back to it. Sorry.
The boys
Can
are
we
jamming
get some
to
steel drums overlaid in that discussion there? Just fade that in.
Roll a joint with one of those 3-foot long papers. Call that Skinwalker branch.
Hell yeah, dude.
Oh wait, I was just thinking paranormal orb, paranormal. Is that anything?
Paranormal, dude.
Nah,
that's so crazy that I've been doing this podcast the whole time by myself. That's so wild.
What do you mean? I'm out here adding valuable content about steel drums.
We'll leave that up to our editor if this is funny enough to stay in or not, I guess.
Yeah, you can just splice that some, you know. Some of it. Most of it.
See if it's Colton approved.
I want to see a supercut later on of just all the cut content that wasn't funny enough.
Yeah, like the time that he made a supercut of me vaping.
That was. I'm legit gonna upload that to the Patreon.
It's
That was
hilarious,
honestly
actually.
funny. I wonder if there's a supercut.
I'm not even gonna
of
hide the
every
vape
time.
anymore, dude. I'm just gonna fucking send it. He's just gonna. It's gonna be a season 1, season 2 thing.
There you go.
That's how my
I
cat
wonder if there's
feels.
a supercut of every time I've bumped my chair into the desk.
I was gonna say, Jake, that's how my cat feels throwing up on the carpet, knowing that I'm gonna come clean it up. Just total confidence.
Yeah, just. Bleh.
Absolute trust.
Good
Now we're
bitch.
gonna see how many we can sneak through.
So, moving away from vapes and back to
5
Skinwalker
minutes
Ranch.
in. Let's get on the script.
Let's take a look at the crazy shit that went on. If you guys remember the end of last episode, when the Shermans sold the ranch to millionaire Robert Bigelow, owner
God, I forgot that
I
was
think that's
his
his fucking
name.
actual name. dude.
owner of Bigelow Aerospace,
You think he goes by Bob instead of Robert?
Bobby Bigelow.
Oh
Bobby
man,
Big,
that's a
dude.
Bobby B. That's a powerful name.
That is. So, Bigelow purchased the ranch. Immediately sends the scientists that he funded, a group called NIDS.
You good?
Yeah. Sorry, NIDS gets me a little bit every time I have to say it. It's the National Institute of Discovery Science. So, the scientists talked with Terry Sherman, and they talked about like how do we track the phenomena. And some people wanted a ton of equipment and like floodlights and 24/7 surveillance, and like maybe drones in the sky. Okay, probably not. This is the late '90s, but you know what I mean. The full Monty.
Listen, if they had drones, they would have used them. I'm sorry, I've still got that steel drum going. I gotta pause that.
They just had like bag drones or something, you know.
But
Just birds with disposable cameras.
Yeah,
that's all birds are. We know that for a fact.
Polaroid pigeon, dude.
Oh fuck, that's also a good bad name.
It kind of is, though. Honestly.
What was the one you came up with earlier, Pep? Third person hand job.
Third person
Yeah,
masturbation.
there we go. So some people wanted like a lot of equipment and floodlights and stuff, but Terry and some others wanted like a quiet approach. The exact thing that Terry said was that he wanted to stalk it like he would a large game animal.
I'll be real, that's a decent tactical plan.
Sure.
They figured to put the equipment on the ranch, set up a base in a nearby town, drink margaritas, and just watch the screens. I don't know about the margaritas. I'm just assuming that would be part of my plan.
I'm really hoping they got a margarita. If we ever go hunting, could we get a margarita machine?
Yeah.
Nice.
Hey, Lot, you've been away for a bit. Yeah, Pip, don't worry about it. You want to come out into the woods? I found this really sweet margarita machine. No, nobody else come. Everybody sit down. Just Pip.
Just follow the sphere, dude.
That's not a protoplasmic ooze in the sphere. That's a margarita mix. Oh man! And then he wasted away margarita.
I was trying so hard to think of a way to segue into that, but you took it from
After a little discussion,
straight stolen.
they decided, like, all right, we're going to go stealth, and they got ready. Terry was telling them how he would sneak out late at night and hunt the phenomena like a big game animal, crawling around the ground, trying to get video evidence, and basically never succeeding at all. In fact, he had so
Metal
little.
Gear.
He had so little success that NIDS was like, "Yeah, let's do that." So the group took a long look at some similar science experiments. Project Hestelin in Norway and Project Gulf in Florida, both of which involved trying to measure aerial phenomena. By the way, this was like 60 pages in the book of just science that I don't understand even a little bit. It could be total nonsense, and I would be like, yes.
Yeah, look smart.
Like, all right. So
That sure sounds official, but I don't know enough to contest it.
yeah. They decided to bring a bunch of cameras, some stuff for measuring electromagnetic fields, a Geiger counter, some walkie-talkies, a small herd of test cattle, and an elite 3-man team. This team was
Armed
Oh,
with
nice.
some walkie-talkies, dude.
Ultra elite hollow foil 3-man team.
They're decked out. They've got their shirts. They've got their fanny packs. They've all got their inhalers.
The Rock.
This team was a physicist and a veterinarian, both of whom are anonymous. And Colm Kelleher, a biophysicist and the author of Hunt for the Skinwalker, which was pretty much the primary source of info on the ranch that's publicly available and what I used for a lot of reference for this book, or for this episode.
Was it the one that you were saying you had some difficulty reading?
Yes.
Was that the?
Yes. A lot of it is science that I don't understand, and a lot of it is science that I understand just well enough to tell that it's probably not true. Not necessarily the ranch, but like the math that he was presenting, I was looking at and being like, So some of it, 100%. Some of it, I was like, yeah, I don't know about this. So, what would you guys do? What would you guys go in guns blazing? Like, you got floodlights, you got cameras, you got maybe hire paparazzi, or are you guys stealthing it out?
I feel like that's a bold approach when hunting something that has notably vaporized a dog.
Yeah, they're just reporting.
I feel like
things.
both of them, right? Like you come at it super aggressive. It's just gonna, assuming that, like sentient or something,
Sure.
It's just gonna be like, I'm gonna vaporize you too, right? But you're sneaking around. He sees you. He's like, what the fuck you doing? Now I'm gonna vaporize you. Like, there's no winning. This
Yeah.
situation.
I don't know. I feel like if I was an advanced alien, UFO floating around, and I saw somebody trying to be sneaky, I would just watch him.
True.
Right? Like if you were minding your own business in like a park or something, and you saw an animal trying to be sneaky, and you could just see it in plain sight, you definitely just sit there and watch it, right? Versus if it was going around being loud, making a big fuss, you'd be like, well, I don't want any of that business.
So the first thing this crack team of SCP MTF style adventurers did was canvass locals. Local natives and tribe members from the Ute were very cooperative, openly telling Kelleher of multiple experiences with weird flying objects over the past few decades. The neighbors of the ranch, who were not native, also had a lot of stories that they divulged after several weeks. It took a little bit of questioning because at first everyone was kind of weirded out, being like, I don't really want to talk about it. But yeah, once they really started to pry, holy shit. One farmer recounted the story of a cow with bizarre injuries. Remember that last episode where they were talking about cows would disappear and like all the branches up above would be broken?
Oh yeah.
Well,
Classic alien abduction thing, right?
yeah. So this farmer sees a cow and it's laying in the field. It's a ways away from where all the cows usually roam. So he went out to check on it and he found that it had 2 broken legs. He's like, what the fuck? So he kind of fixes the legs. The cow can't really move. And later the cow disappears completely, despite its immobility. The next day, he looks out. He sees the cow again, about 50 feet away from where he had originally seen it. So he runs out to check. Now all 4 of the cow's legs were broken, and he had to put it down. And to this day, the man swears that the cow must have been lifted up and then dropped back down twice. Once breaking the 2 legs, and the second time breaking the other 2.
How heavy is this cow?
Cows are extremely heavy.
I mean, they've already abducted other cows, though, haven't they? Was this just like a double thick cow?
No, I think
we
the
drop
abduction
it.
was successful. They just put it back after, right?
Yeah, they just fumbled.
like it
They,
was gone.
they butterfingered it.
The aliens were just like, oh, well, we got the
It's
cow.
like when you're playing like the claw game, right? You pick it up and you're almost out, and then it falls back down. Yeah.
Like, oh, leg's broken. The test is complete.
What happens if we drop this fucking cow, dude? that was the whole point, man. Okay, it lived the first time, and now it's not moving. What happens if we do it again?
I see the back legs are broken. What if we drop it from this angle? The front legs also are capable of breaking. Write that down.
Amazing.
But that wasn't the only mutilation. Terry reported one to Kelleher and his team crew one time, and when they found the body, so he finds this cow and he goes and he calls Kelleher and he's like, this is fucked up, and they all run out there, and the body was basically disassembled. The limbs had been ripped off the calf brutally, but the whole thing was displayed neatly. The limbs were placed, where they kind of should have been, except like a foot outwards, hooves facing out, torn joint facing torn socket, just a couple of feet away. And the cavity of the chest was pink and clean, and a cavity it was because all of the organs were gone. And despite that, not one drop of blood on the surrounding ground.
See, now, this feels like something that, like an advanced species wanting to learn about a less advanced race might do. They're just like, well, let's see if we can take it apart and put it back together again, see how it works. It's just one of them. What will they care? But, and taking that incident of terrifying disassembly and being unmade of a creature, it makes me lose a lot of the sheen of it would be a little cool to be abducted by aliens, because I do not want that happened to me.
Now they're gonna take you apart and display you, dude.
Yeah.
So,
I'm very attached to my parts. I like being together.
Yeah. Don't we all?
Interestingly, after they found this body, they started doing sweeps with their instruments, and they came to realize that the nearest bars of the corral, like right where most of the mutilated cattle were found, were magnetized. No other bars of the corral were, just that one corner where the mutilated cattle kept being found.
Weird.
And
that part's really fucked up.
increasingly, they found that the compass was a really good tool for tracking the anomalies. Almost every single bizarre happening would make a compass swing wildly. For example, Terry was once watching the animals that had been left on the farm when he saw a cow do something weird. The cow was wandering towards a blue salt lick. It was a little ways off from the herd when it stopped in its tracks. It lowered its head, and it just began to slowly back away from the salt. So Terry's like, what the fuck? He grabs his wife, he grabs a compass, and they both watch as the cow backed up a long ways and then turned and ran back into the herd. And the herd split down the middle. Half the cows running west, and the other half stampeding east. The compass, meanwhile, was pointing directly in between the two herds, as though something was there that the compass could pick up. Something that the cows could pick up, but we couldn't. And something that gave off an electromagnetic field significant enough to alter a compass. They tracked the anomaly by both the movement of the cows and the movement of the compass needle south for 11 minutes before it finally vanished.
Okay, so the electromagnetic thing sort of makes sense because that's a lot of high power, right? And we would know that advanced species would be capable to such power outputs regardless of whatever nonsense they're pulling at local farms. But what senses do cows have that people do not?
Cow sense?
That was gonna be my take, dude. Like, cows aren't exactly like, I don't know if you guys have ever been around cows before, but they're kind of dumb, right? They're not exactly like, they don't have any sense really at all, other than like herd mentality, right?
I don't know. Maybe Gary Larson was onto something.
No, see, the cows.
A little Far Side humor for y'all.
See, the cows don't have a calcified pineal gland. That's the difference.
Ah, there it is.
Yeah, of course.
Open your third eye.
But actually, going back to this splitting of the herd, right?
4 stomachs, 3 eyes.
I don't see a world where cows see ghosts or cows see aliens. I'm sorry, that makes no fucking sense.
They just exist on a lower frequency than we do.
Oh yeah, maybe it was
The
like
cows
different...
are the aliens, dude.
Dude, cows and the ghosts.
Yes. I mean, there's animals that can make and perceive sounds at different wavelengths that are perceptible from human senses. So maybe there's some kind of.
But are cows one of those animals?
I mean, maybe it's not a sound base. It's some other sort of wavelength of thing that's high energy. Maybe cows can feel X-rays.
I was gonna say it could be body warmth.
There's just a really hot spot.
Sure.
Oh yeah, the aliens had 5G at the Skinwalker Ranch, and that's where all the cows were running.
Yeah.
It is fast, though.
Clearly.
Crazy though, UFOs were a sight that were really common at the ranch. All kinds of crafts and groups of crafts would zip over the ranch in full view of team members and neighbors alike. There was a triangle UFO with 3 headlights that was a regular visitor. And the blue ball of light from last episode that butterized the dogs, that thing came back too.
Oh, they didn't get it.
Yeah. I even have...
You gotta catch the butterer, dude. That.
Listen, I mean, that's one of the base instincts of a dog, though. You see a ball, you gotta chase it.
True. I even found a tale of like a portal of some kind that opened up. It's from the NIDS researchers. So these 2 guys wanted to be anonymous. So let's call them Pip and Jake. And I want this to be an audio drama. We're doing an audio drama. Pip, you be Pip. Jake, you be Jake. I'm the narrator.
I want to be Jake.
Hey.
So the scene itself, the lines and the narration and stuff, these are all from the Kelleher book almost directly, sans, of course, my artistic liberties. Scene, August 25th, 1997. The night was warm, clear, and beautiful. The NIDS team was sitting silently on a ledge of a bluff, probably listening to I'll Be Missing You by Puff Daddy and Faith Evans, featuring 112, since that was the Billboard #1 hit at the time. They looked out on a field, looking for phenomena. Some 4 hours into the watch, Jake had an idea.
I have an idea.
Jake had found that meditation sometimes made the anomalies pop up, and after explaining such, he did just that.
I found that meditation sometimes make the anomalies pop up, so I'm gonna go do just that.
And nothing happened.
It's been 2 hours. Let's pack up the cameras and tripod and EMF reader and move to a different place. I'm sure the meditation is the key here.
How's that Bob Dylan for you?
Tangled
good.
up in blue. So they packed up. But just as Jake was thinking that maybe the meditation trick wasn't going to work, he saw something. There's a glitter of light down below, yellowish, as if the midday sun was reflecting on glass. Except that it was 3 a.m.
Mr. Dillon, please hand me the camera. I'll take as many pictures as I can.
Good thinking. I'll use the binoculars and you take the snapshots.
I can't keep this up.
The light had continued to grow in intensity, brighter now, with a thick source, as if it was getting bigger, like it was opening up.
Is it still growing? 10 inches, a foot and a half? What the actual fuck, dude?
That's not a light. That's a tunnel.
I'm turning into some kind of bad newscaster.
Jesus Christ. Something is coming out of it.
What the fuck? I only see light in the camera.
Fuck, no. It has no fucking face. I'm turning into Captain Kirk.
Oh my god, it just felt... It has no face, it just fell to the ground and walked away. What the fuck was that? I can't keep up any character work.
Oh god. That's quality content, dude.
By now, the
Well,
light...
listen, you guys are laughing. Sorry.
By now, the light had dimmed and gone away, and nothing else was visible there.
Are you sure that you saw what you saw? The film only picked up some blurry light.
Absolutely, a tunnel opened in the light and some giant thing with no fucking face on its head fell out. It was humanoid and at least 7 feet tall, maybe 400 pounds. It walked off into the trees. It's fucking out there right now.
They scanned with instruments, but everything was normal. Radiation levels, EMFs, all standard. And they never saw the humanoid creature again. Scene
I
end.
would leave. I would move to a different zip code.
Yeah, I would leave.
Even if I didn't live in the same zip code, I would move to a new zip code just in case.
You never know.
Yeah, I don't like that. Anytime that someone says it has no face, I'm instantly, I'm done.
Things usually have faces. You know, it's pretty normal for me to see things with faces, and the second they don't, it freaks me the fuck out.
Yeah, I have a personal policy against angering anything that weighs as much as a small car or could be described using the words has no face.
Dude.
I'll
Especially
break
if
the
it
mold
falls
here,
out
and
of a
I've
portal. Yep.
I'll break the mold here. I've always thought the no face aesthetic was a little bit kind of cool.
Pip wants to have a computer screen for a face once the glorious transhumanist revolution comes, so I'm not shocked.
It's just yes, man, dude.
Oh my god, no, I don't want to be yes man.
Too late, you're yes, man.
What's his voice? Maybe I'll do that one.
I don't know.
After that, there was another kind of infamous incident. This is something a lot of people have heard about. The camera vandalism. They had a ton of cameras that were set out in sets of 3. Terry went to check on them once and immediately called in some team members because 3 of the cameras had been taken offline. Their wires ripped out, the duct tape that they were fastened with completely gone. The PVC piping that had held up the cameras was bent and twisted. They searched the film for a hint, but all that they could tell was that all 3 cameras went out at exactly the same time, 8:30. They looked for the duct tape, couldn't find any hint of it, and they finally had the genius idea of, hey, let's check the other cameras and see what those saw, because they were pointed directly at the vandalized ones.
That makes sense.
So they roll the film back.
That's step 1, right?
They roll the film back. They find the 8:30 timestamp, and nothing. They couldn't believe it. They were looking right at the cameras at the time they all went out, but it just looked as though nothing had happened. Granted, these are all late 90s cameras, so they're all grainy as hell, but still, something should have been visible, right?
The PVC pipe bending, the sudden absence of the duct tape, nothing changed?
Nope.
You think they were just one frame to the next or something? Something to indicate that it happened at once? Not a single clue.
Nothing. And that freaked everyone out. Terry noted that it kind of reminded him of the way that the cattle mutilations had been displayed. Hideous, but also neat and tidy. No mess.
Yes, very complete.
I just want to take it apart, dude. See how it works.
Oh, yeah.
I used to do that with electronics when my dad was done with them. We got a new VCR, he gives me the old VCR in his toolbox. I'm like, alright, you can take it apart.
I also used to do that.
Oh, nice. Was it just a cool thing that dads did?
I mean, it's one of the...
I definitely didn't have permission to do that. I just did it.
Oh.
But it's one of the best ways to learn how to, things work is to take them apart.
Yeah, it's very
Like cows,
educational.
apparently.
Yeah.
Yes. People have noted the similarities that Skinwalker Ranch has with the New Mexico town of Dulce, which is famous for its underground military installation. Both places have had UFO activity, balls of light, mysterious figures, and other anomalies. Finally,
I gotta get a slingshot next time we're out UFO hunting. That orb shows up, I'm just shooting a rock at it.
oh yeah, take it out. Finally,
There you go.
I want us to look at this little thing I found. This is a fun little website, skinwalkerranch.org/classification system.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
clicking on the entities, dude.
It is a list
Oh,
of entities
you can-
reported as having been seen. I can't find a source for these claims, and this is the best website I've ever found. But this is great content. This is what it's all about.
I love the format. You can tell, dude. It's got the custom scroll bar and everything. And the big
Bulletproof
buttons.
wolf.
What?
Yeah,
Oh,
here,
wait, no,
what's
we
that?
talked
It's
about
from
that.
Bit.
Oh, we
This
talked
dire
about that in
wolf-like
part
creature.
1.
Did we? Oh, we did.
Yeah, part 1. That was
Sort
when
of,
we
yeah.
shot it, and it just looked at him.
Yeah, okay, you're right.
Let's go through this list. Let's take turns reading from this list. We'll go over the
All right.
description, the function/interaction, the type, the duration, and the frequency, which is my favorite because it kind of looks like when I look up stats for Pokemon Go, and it tells me like the percent chance of a Pokemon being, male or female or shiny or whatnot, and
what are the drop rates on these aliens?
Exactly. There's never a source for like. They don't say what the source for this information or the numbers are. They just say like 46% chance of seeing. Who wants to go first? Who wants to take care of the spotlight right at the top of the page?
I got it. All right. Description: the spotlight. Large letters, quotations. A single spotlight, similar to that on a motorcycle, travels around at about 10 to 40 miles per hour, which is a pretty wide window. Typically hovers around 8 feet from the ground, sometimes seen with a red tail light behind it. Can fly over any terrain type. May also be related to, if not misidentified, as a flash drone. This does sound similar to a motorcycle, except it flies.
Yeah, it's just Hagrid's motorcycle.
I was gonna say, what's that guy that villain that Nick Cage was? Ghost Rider. It's just Ghost Rider. Seems to be some sort of observation/sentry type vehicle. At times it seems to ignore the witness or not be able to locate your position. Other times it will directly beam the spotlight immediately upon the witness location. This phenomena type will interact if it spots you. If it spots you, either it doesn't see you at all or it shines the light directly on you. Is that the interaction? It pointing the light, or you get some complimentary probes with that?
No, it just rolls up to you and insists that you play a game of cribbage with it. And if you win, you get the flying motorcycle.
I thought for a second you were going to say Simon, because that seems like something aliens would subject people to. It's just like a couple of tones and you got to match. Just manifest a diamond or something if you win.
Are you done yours? Because I found one that's like freaking me out a little bit.
It's machine-like, seems to be able to read minds, unsure if there is a mechanical structure behind the lights, as no body has been witnessed. Duration 10 to 15 seconds, 46% chance of seeing.
All right, Jake, hit me with it.
Cage in the eye, dude. All right, dude. So we got the sentient mist. Okay.
Oh, that's hot.
Yeah, and the picture's like this weird, like Cheshire cat thing. It's very scary looking, actually. So described as Bigelow researchers as a neurological electricity. This unique entity is completely black in color. It takes the intangible form of a thick smoke. The smoke is described like a disembodied skin of black electrified energies that possess an intellect. Theories hold that this is a pre-transitional embodiment of a not-yet-formed entity as it emerged from a portal or a flash drone. The shapeless, malleable mist will eventually mold itself into a local animal or humanoid. There's an update to this. It says this form has been known to take a humanoid shape with tentacle appendages. So believed to be a temporary body type taken by a uniformed entity, this form may be a temporary non-physical state necessary to survive the physically challenging and complex nature of traversing a wormhole. The mist will typically transition to a humanoid, wolf, or local animal shape once it emerges from the portal and is solidly within our dimensional space. Described as having tentacles, which it uses to toxify its victims by inserting them via the mouth and thereby suffocating the lungs with what feels like a burning dust. This immediately transports the victim into the spirit world, another region, the devoid space between Earth and the heavens.
Ooh. I have some reservations about this one. One, the picture looks like a low-grade creepypasta.
And two, it's like a weird hentai mist, dude. Like, hello?
It'll bring you to the shadow.
Yeah, the description is it toxifies the victim by inserting via the mouth and feels like burning dust, which means there was a witness of it
that felt it, apparently.
That felt it and did experience it, and apparently came back from between the nether region of Earth and heavens.
The devoid space. That's it.
The devoid space. I see.
Yep.
Is this based off the SCP or is the SCP based off of this? Because I know
Dude, chicken or
those
the egg,
two
man,
are
I don't know.
awful similar. Yeah.
Alright. Let me finish reading this. So the sightings have almost resulted in a close encounter with an entity. No communication occurs, will result in a noticeable electric shock if physical contact occurs. Resulting final form is believed to be a lifeless yet physically real creature. Roughly 30 seconds encounter and 2% chance of seeing it.
It's not even its final form.
He's crunched the numbers 2%.
2%.
Go 50 times, you'll see him once. All right. I want to hit you. I want to hit you with.
Oh, you want to hit me?
You heard me.
Come at me. You
The
mess with the
Traveler.
best, you better make it count.
Oh, the Traveler. An ancient-looking native man dressed in primitive attire. He and his tribe once lived on the Skinwalker Ridge cliffs and upper canyons just northeast of the ranch house, where their bodies are rumored to be buried. He is said to have lost his family and entire tribe to these sky beasts, which came out of a bright light. He wears the skins of animals and resides within them as he travels about the ranch property. These include a wolf, a coyote, and an eagle. As a result of his contact with an alien or interdimensional presence on the ranch, he now resides on the ranch and nearby properties as an ethereal, ghost-like figure, alive, yet not so in the context that modern science understands. He is seen at times as a flesh-and-blood solid human, while other times he seems out of phase, as if translucent and within another timeline, confused by the intersection of seeing a modern-day witness alert to his presence. He serves a role as a silent witness, commonly present in the background, separate from the balls of light and whatever the host they represent. He is known within intergovernment circles as the Traveler, and was once a Navajo man, but is now no longer human. He is known to initiate communication with those who seek his audience by accepting their offerings on the property. Was once human, assumed to have died. He now resides as something of a spiritual nature, forever trapped in a timeless interdimensional void, providing warnings to truth seekers and oversight to the interactions of the foreign intelligence which frequents the property. He is a separate entity from the ranch's main hosts. His motives appear altruistic and a harbinger for the coming of the host. Encounters last 1 minute to 2 hours in duration. Appears both physically and seen transforming into animals, but also has the ability to visit the witness at the home and to appear to them while placing them in a trance-like state. He can also be channeled via Ouija board-like formats. 2% chance of seeing him in the physical form, 5% chance of making contact via non-corporeal means.
So is he dead? I'm confused. He went through so many different transitions in that little...
He's like out of time or something, I guess. But what really tickles me is the fact that he accepts offerings. Like,
yeah, he's like some fucking god or something.
What does he do with them though? If he is neither alive nor dead and is just like this weird half spirit out of time, what does he do if you give him a burger?
A few episodes ago, who woke up across the country with a random iPhone.
I guess.
That's the guy.
That's the guy. He traveled.
That's why they call him the Traveler in intergovernment circles.
Ah, yes.
What does that even mean, dude?
I mean, what kind of offerings does he prefer? Is it stuff? Does he prefer food? Does he prefer like a spiritual, like non-physical offering?
Could I offer you an egg in these trying times?
Yeah, if you give him a hamburger, will he eat it?
What?
If he eats it, will he shit?
Probably.
Will the poo also experience
That's the
passage of time?
non-corporeal means, dude.
We've collected non-corporeal fecal matter. It's just an empty bag. We gotta test this.
This must be contained. The world can never know. This cannot be released to the public.
Pip, did you want to read another one?
Let me find... Oh, that one sounds like an enticing name. Water babies.
Ooh.
Known to the local Ute natives.
Stole mine, dude.
Well, I Sorry. Known to the local Ute natives as the Powapicts. This entity commonly inhabits the surrounding waterways. They can be recognized by their vocalizations, which mimic the sound of a crying human baby. Horribly annoying.
Yep.
According to local lore, once the curious bystander goes to investigate, he or she is then dragged underwater to be drowned by the water baby. The creature is said to have a humanoid form and long dark hair, also is the size of a small child. I am not making a grammatical editorialization, it's just written like that. Will mimic the sound of a crying child to entice its victim into close proximity to the water, where it will then attempt to drown and or hypnotize its victim to drown oneself. Will traverse the canals around the ranch and can be heard swimming near those within its proximity.
Imagine dying by being drowned by a fucking baby.
How many water?
You got baited by a baby. You hear some crying, you're like, that's a child on Skinwalker Ranch. I better go approach this mysterious sound at the Skinwalker Ranch and approach the water at the Skinwalker Ranch. This seems safe.
I gotta go give that baby a flotation jacket.
Yeah, I better inflate my jeans so that the baby can float.
Real questions:
That's what they teach you.
How many water babies do you think you could fight before one of the before they swamped you? Like what? Give me a number.
Swamped.
Wait, are we talking in the water or outside the water?
You are on the edge of the water and they're trying to drag you in. How many babies do you think you could like?
You just fucking kick him and walk away, dude. That's a baby. Like, what the fuck? What's he gonna do?
Hold on. Well, you see, that's why we're asking how many babies would it take to drag you in.
I mean, if there was 10,000 babies, like you're not leaving.
All right,
Yeah,
Google.
I mean,
what is the grip strength of a baby?
Yeah, could you just grease yourself up?
well, like they're in the water, right? So they're gonna grab you, but they're gonna be slippery and shit. Like, what are they gonna like dig their feet into the side of the river or something? Like,
just running through like the shallows just to fuck with them because you're like all lotioned up or something. Might be flies on some of you guys, but there ain't no flies on me. Just hiking through the water. Babies just falling off you.
I found a scientific paper, but they're not giving me the units on these graphs of the grip strength versus years.
We're gonna figure this one out, dude.
It just says like 50, 100, 150, and it's increasing. You know, like a 4-year-old is only like a quarter as powerful as a 12-year-old, which about makes sense. But oh wait, there it is, newtons.
So what's like an average adult grip strength? Like, give me a frame of reference.
I gotta open a new tab here. Grip strength newtons adult.
I'm glad that everyone Googles like that. Just in like sentence fragments.
Does anybody actually type out their questions long form in Google?
No,
I always
it's
just
not.
like put random words
Every
in there
so
and everyone
often.
figures it out.
It's not Ask
Every so
Jeeves.
often, Eddie, just the FBI watching me feel involved.
So the only times that I have in my life is when I was trying to like do homework and not actually like figure out the question. And I would just type the full question in, and oftentimes you'd find like the exact same question with the exact same answer.
If Danny is on a train leaving Denver,
No,
that's
actually, that's the thing. It's all pulled from somewhere, dude. No one makes their own fucking
true.
school test
Working,
anymore.
yes.
I always thought it was
Yes,
weird that teachers would get mad at me if I
definitely.
plagiarized, but they definitely plagiarized all their work, and they were getting paid for it.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
All right. So the average, our age group is about a little around 500 newtons for
Okay.
approximately.
What about these water
late 20s
babies?
males. One baby's the lowest it goes is 4 years old, which is not quite a baby.
Baby enough.
So that's baby. That's the lowest we've got here. Approximately average of about 50 newtons.
Okay, so I feel comfortable saying that a baby's grip is going to be like 10 newtons or less. I don't know if you've ever felt like a 4-year-old grabbing your sleeve versus like a baby's grip, but
All right.
babies don't have the
Different,
bones to be strong.
Okay, so it's about 10 4-year-olds for one adult, and if it's 10 water babies for one 4-year-old, that's 100 water babies for one person's grip.
And I'm confident that I could shake off one person's grip, try to pull me into the water.
All right.
Especially if I'm on land and they're in the water. Yeah, I could just fucking kick them.
How many regular adults? How many of you gripping would it take to pull you into the water? 1, 2?
I think
3?
not more than 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Just for people. I mean, that's just how your body works because we.
So that's like 300 or 400 babies, I think, before they get you.
That's a lot.
And then at that point, we're talking like World War Z levels of water babies.
They just swarming.
Just a teeming a wave of babies
like
surging out from beneath the water.
All right. Okay. Next question. Can they leave the water?
Can they what?
Like, are they gonna like Gulliver's Travels you and like fucking tie you down, or are they stuck there?
It says they traverse the canals, so I don't think they leave. I think it's like stepping into quicksand, except it's all babies.
So the question is, are the babies amphibious?
The question is there any real water, or is it just all babies?
Is he his baby creek?
That's the creek.
So why do you call it baby creek?
Anyways, there's a 6% chance of seeing the encounters will last from 5 minutes to 1 hour, depending on how much you struggle.
With all due respect, though, I know for a fact that a person dies from drowning in like 3 minutes. So shouldn't the lower one time limit be like 3 minutes, 4 minutes, maybe? I don't know about 5.
There's about 2 minutes of struggle, dude.
You think it take 2 minutes?
2 minutes if you fighting the babies.
For hundreds of babies to just drag you under the water?
Well, I mean, they start crying, you go check it out, right? That's the 2 minutes. You're like, oh, what's happening over here? Oh, God, I'm being pulled in. I guess this is fine, and you just roll with it.
My bad. I guess I didn't know we were including travel time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Travel time. And then there's the where you're at the edge and they've got to lure you in to rescue the babies, I guess.
Well, my favorite part of this is where it says they'll try to hypnotize you. Or it'll attempt to drown and / or hypnotize you. Okay.
Because you look over into
How many babies does it take to hypnotize you?
No, see, the babies cast a spell. You're walking along the side of the water. You look down into the water. What's that at the bottom? Is that a little burst of orange? Is that a pack of Reese's peanut butter cups? And you just lean forward. And before you know it, your like arms are stuck in the muck, and you're
Is that a Terry's chocolate orange? Hell yeah!
I love big
400
tarts.
babies to drown you, or 1 package of Reese's peanut butter cups.
Jake, you want to do one more?
It's so much easier to just get some chocolate than it is to just organize 400 paranormal babies.
True.
Very true. Yeah, I'll do one more. All right, so we got the Night Whistler.
Ooh.
All right, numerous accounts have been shared to me by neighbors surrounding the ranch regarding this phenomena. Only occurs at night.
To me? Who? Wait, so the owner of the website?
That's what it says. I don't know.
Yes.
Take it as you will. Neighbors hear what sounds like a male whistling in a single long note with breaks in between. It was first reported in 2003 and is still happening to this day. It sounds like a male whistling an eerily long tune with the proximity mere feet about the witness's head. This anomaly only occurs at night and seems to plague those on and around the Skinwalker Ranch. Whatever or whomever is whistling this tune is invisible and unknown. An invisible intelligence of unknown origin, male in gender due to the deeper tone, and possibly human. Roughly 10 seconds encounter length and about 2% chance of seeing, I guess. Is 10 seconds eerily long, though?
I mean, that's just like a bird.
Yeah, mysterious
it's like,
whistling
whistle,
near you.
whatever, you know?
But
I mean, listen, if it's night and you're wandering around and you're looking to have a paranormal interaction, all of a sudden you hear some dude just whistling a jaunty tune.
It's not a jaunty tune. It's one note.
With
Oh,
a
it's just
single
one note.
long
Sorry,
drawn
one
out
note.
note with breaks.
That's what makes me say that it's like a bird. Because yeah, people whistle tunes. That's what we do.
Birds also whistle tunes. They don't just hold a note for 10 seconds,
That's not a
though.
bird.
As someone who has slept with a large tree outside my window in which the birds live, I can confirm that birds do indeed sometimes just hold a single note for like 10 seconds for absolutely no reason at like 6:30 in the morning.
Birds are awful.
Oh, well, I am wrong then. All right.
It depends on the bird, but
the
like
last two feel almost easily fakeable. You know,
How dare you?
You put a. I know.
I feel like
I want to be the
go with
believer on this,
100% of
but
these sound easily fakeable.
how do you fake a sentient tentacle mist though? Fog machine and
I mean,
octopus.
by it not being real at
Yeah.
all.
It's just by someone making
It's
it up.
kind of foggy outside, I guess. It makes me cough and it smells kind of weird. It must be a sentient mist monster. Like what?
Let me hit everyone with one last one, and we'll wrap up this episode.
All right.
The portal. In 2012, while on a property to the north of the ranch, I have seen this firsthand and have possibly been exposed to radiation from it.
Prove it.
It made the entire night scenery appear like daytime for 10 seconds. There was a very bright flash of light, which illuminated both the sky and the ground. This has been described as like a window to another world or dimension. The bright light may have been the result of daylight in this other dimension or location, shinning through this window into our own time/space. Rumor
It
has
does say shinning.
Yeah, I know. I'm reading it verbatim. Rumor has it, the orange portals emit living creatures, while the blue portals allow vehicles to pass. Seen to the west of the ranch, 500 to 1,000 feet in the sky. Likely the source where strange, non-native animals/intelligent entities may be entering ranch property. Manipulation of time/space or unique energies to create a doorway to an unknown location or reality. It lasts about 10
Yeah, that's
seconds.
how a portal works, buddy.
10 seconds, a 2% chance of seeing. You have a better chance of seeing
That's
a
an
portal
ultra-rare drop.
on Skinwalker Ranch than you have of seeing like a wolf in Canada.
Is 10 seconds enough time to like take all the cargo from one side to the other? What do you think?
I don't.
It is easier to see a portal on Skinwalker Ranch than to catch that one prehistoric fish in Pokemon.
True.
So really, I mean, you're spending your time wrong. Go jump in a portal.
Yeah. By the way, this website, incredible.
Go fight.
Truly amazing.
Go fight some babies. Jump in a portal.
I'm
Right.
clicking around a little bit, dude. It doesn't seem like anything else works though.
I'm desperately looking for an about me on this.
Oh my god, there's if you go to the forum, there's a military and black operations forum. I'm going in, dude.
Oh my god.
The first
I'm just-
thread I see is government's use of fake rocks. Use of fake rocks, really.
Well,
Oh, they got a YouTube embedded called Scientist Nosi versus the Aliens capital, like proper capitals, part 1, all lowercase.
if any of you guys, by the way, any of you at home want to check this website out, this is skinwalkerranch.org. Well, thank you all for tagging along as we wrap up this episode. We don't have all the answers because some websites don't like to give sources to their information. Thanks as always from us to you. Follow us on Twitter at OOTA_pod or our Patreon, patreon.com/utap. And remember, everything has an element of the unknown. Good night.